I don't know. I don't know what to expect out of this.
Well, that's
we
how I
talked about
felt
it before too, of saying who would even play Hercules and all this.
Well, that's how I felt about him doing Aladdin, because that was so weird. Because it's like his style with musicals, especially musical like that, just the weirdest combination I think I've seen in a big budget Hollywood movie in quite some time. Yeah, no, all those Disney remakes are terrible. It's not like they're like well made and everything. They are well made,
right?
And like, no, the action isn't bad. It's just not. It's so unnecessary and it's so cynical, and it's just gross. Every single time I hear about another live action remake, I just like kind of my spine shivers. If you're looking at my facial hair too, if you're watching the video, no, I'm not Amish. I'm just lazy.
You're trying something new. You're doing it for a role.
Yes, I am. Soon, next episode that we're gonna do, all of this is not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be at a grandma's house anymore.
Oh, I'm moving. It's officially July, so July is going to come big changes to Justin.
Yep, I'm going to be 26. I'm moving out in my grandma's house, and that's it right now. But
just still exciting.
Hopefully there'll be more to come.
Well, cool. I'm glad we're back.
Oh yeah, baby.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to another episode of History of Popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know what History of Popcorn is, consider this your secret public movie club. We are a podcast that celebrates all things movies. We give you the latest industry news as fresh and organic as we can. We also do movie reviews and revisit films whenever we want. Oh, that's hard to say. We revisit films. We are your hosts. I'm Elijah.
I'm Juice Stain. I'm Justin. Sorry.
And we are your hosts. Yeah. If you happen to hear any snaps or crackles or pops, or see anything or audibly disturbing during this show, it's because we do our sessions through Zoom. And one day we'll have a set, but right now we're on Zoom, and we're glad that you guys are still here. I
feel like we have to constantly remind people that we do not live in the same state.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about I'm planning something for our next big in-person interview, or not interview, but episode, because I feel like we're going to be seeing each other this month, because I'm going to be trying to move around and see people this month, especially because your birthday is this month, right?
Yes, it is.
That's exciting. Yeah. I don't know when that is. I forgot. It's July.
Got this.
I think it's in my calendar. I think.
Got this. July 12th.
I think it's in my calendar. Yes, it is. Okay. Oh. It is.
Yeah, you're going to be 26, the big 26.
Yep, you're on the other side of 25. It's quite scary.
It is weird. It is weird.
All the older people are like, oh, they don't even know. Wait till you're 35. It's like, yeah. I guess. Well, we've never been this age. We've never been this old. We don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah. I don't know what our future holds. The world is crumbling.
Yep. So I'll start off by asking, what have you been investing your time with on watching lately? What has caught your attention, or what is on your mind?
I watched 2 shows. One I had no idea about, and I was pleasantly surprised, which is called Man vs. Bee with Rowan Atkinson, who's Mr. Bean. That was just absolutely amazing, even though it's super weird that it was a TV show, because it's literally 90 minutes. Like each episode's like it's a movie length, so I don't know why they
each movie's I don't know why
minutes. They broke up the way they did.
Each episode is 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think the first episode is the longest one. I think the first one was like 20 minutes, and then the rest of them are like 10 to like 9 minutes.
Interesting.
It's really weird, but yeah, it's kind of like what Quibi was doing but
I wonder if that's how he made it, is for online, and then Netflix was like, sure. It was probably going to be a web series, maybe. Oh,
well, I remember, I forgot that British TV shows usually are like this. So Netflix just like Netflix acquired it, but British TV shows are very odd with the lengths of their episodes and their seasons as well. Like, but that show is freaking funny though. Even though it's pretty scattered, it's still, there's still some great stuff, and Rowan Atkinson is just better than ever. And then also because I'm a simple man and I love following trends, I just watched the end of Stranger Things season 4.
Yeah, you watched it all, right? Not just the ending.
Oh yeah, no, I watched it all.
You're like, everyone's talking about the last 2 episodes. I'm just gonna watch the last 2 episodes. That's Stranger Things was one of the first Netflix takeoffs, and it was like, you stopped talking about it after a month, and I think they did something smart here, holding out as long as they can. I mean, they only have 1 more season, so we'll see what they do.
But yeah, I mean, like, I know everybody's calling this like the best season since the first one, and I don't agree with that. I don't think anything's gonna top the first season. Yeah. First season was freaking perfect, and I think after that, it's been fine. It's like obviously they put a lot of money into this shit. But it's just whatever. I found a lot of it to be kind of annoying. Honestly, there were a lot of decisions that the characters made. I'm like, what? That didn't really need to happen.
Yeah,
there's something. I won't spoil anything, but there's something that was involved with the flamethrower, which was working, and they dropped the flamethrower and use a sword. And that's all I'm gonna say. Which I was just like, it looks cool. It was a badass scene. It made no sense. The dude's holding a flamethrower. He's just standing there watching another person wielding a sword to a,
which is the
demodog.
The flamethrower is the ideal weapon for these upside down creatures, because fire is the only thing that hits them. Exactly. So it's like, obviously you're gonna go with that, and he goes with the hand-to-hand combat thing. I guess sword.
And the sword,
I agree with you.
Nowhere too. I don't even know where that sword came from, unless I missed something. I remember I saw the sword. I was like,
that's the pit where they fought. So they gave them weapons that were weaker. So all the weapons are already
right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well,
that's right. I totally
forgot. Because they expect them to lose.
This season, there are a lot of things. There's so many things that happen this season that like I can't even pick up. Like I'm probably gonna have to rewatch. I'm thinking about rewatching the entire show. But if I do, I'm just going to be upset because the first season's so good, and the rest of it is like, it's cool. But
I'm glad I started.
But I hate it when
it took me a long time to start this first season. It took me like almost a year. It was like when the second season was coming, I was like, all right, I'll watch it, and I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't have anything spoiled in the first season. Now everything gets spoiled within the first weekend. So
I had to stay off of Twitter. I never tweet. I tweeted. I was like, just asking people nicely to not do it. Yeah, there were a lot of videos and people just talking about certain things, and I didn't read all of it. But it was just like, you guys are such assholes. Why do you guys do this?
Yeah, they just have disregard. They
do that to Marvel movies.
Yeah, you're just yelling at people now. It's like, I don't know, but I had a theory that so many people were going to die in that last 2 episodes, but I was kind of wrong. But there's some death in the last season. Everyone, all the cast has been teasing that, but I thought a lot of other things. I thought they could have ended it a lot better. I think they could have gone more, be less safe, because they were pretty safe, kind of, but not really. They have a system every season. And this isn't really a spoiler. Well, I won't talk about it. I guess I don't want, because it's
just
still
say
early.
Spoilers, because I think you and I are going to say the same exact thing, because I want to hear what you said, or at least cut this part out.
Spoilers for like the next minute, but I thought I thought more people were going to die, and I thought they're being very safe with the main characters. Like, they need to start getting rid of them. And I think Millie Bobby Brown said this in an interview. It was like, they need to pull a Game of Thrones in the last season and just start killing most of the main characters, which is, I think, a good idea. Granted, they are kids, and I don't want to be like, I want to see these kids die, but I'm okay if Mike dies. Finn Wolfhard. His character is not doing
Right.
anything anymore.
He's not doing shit. And Finn
He's not doing
Wolfhard, you
anything.
can tell, just does not care. He is not.
Yeah.
He's not invested at all.
I legitimately thought they were going to kill Mike, his character, because he is doing movies now and stuff. And he's just like scheduling would be a nightmare, I feel like, for the last season. Because I was thinking in the industry wise, like sometimes they kill people off because they become very successful and they have to do other things. But Millie Bobby Brown's obviously not going to do that. But I could see Mike doing that. And I really wanted them to do that because I feel like that would make a big impact on the show and on 11 and all the characters around Mike. But Mike is so boring now and his acting is so flat in everything that he does.
Yeah, I 100% agree. There's a new trope that Stranger Things is doing. They're becoming a cliche themselves, and there are a few of them that I find it very annoying. One are the editing, the fast-paced flashbacks. Whenever anything happens, you look at this pencil,
they just remind you,
and then they have no faith that we remember a goddamn thing.
That's because they have so long between seasons that like they might have not actually remembered. Even
not just that, like that stuff like is fine if they're like doing a callback in the first season. It's like, hey, like, remember this, but no, it's like something will happen in the episode. Like I'll look at this pencil, and then 5 minutes later, I'll look at the pencil again, and then it'll go back to me looking at the pencil like 5 minutes. It's like that's egregious. That's true. Another cliche that they're doing is that they always introduce a new cast of characters, and at least 2 of them are going to die.
That's what I was going to say too. It's like every single season. Yeah. Well, every single season, they always make the most, like the character that you end up liking by the end, they always kill. Like Bob, Sean Astin from that one season. Like,
oh, he was the best one. Yeah. That one hurt. That one hurt.
That one was painful, but like they always do that. And I was like arguing with my brother before. I was like, they're not going to kill Eddie. They do that every season where they introduce a new character and kill him at the end of the season. They don't kill any of the older people. And I thought Eddie was going to live because I thought the actor was really strong, but I guess not. They just go with this. They just bring new people in for one season and cut them out. Like I'm surprised Murray's still on the show too.
Yeah, he's actually a highlight to me. I like him.
I like him a lot as an actor and all the stuff he's been.
Winona Ryder is another one. I think that she's checking out too. She's just so flat. Her character's just not doing anything. There are a lot of characters now that are just not doing shit. Like who's Will's brother?
Oh yeah. Let's get into some movie news then, huh? Shall we? Huh?
Let's do it.
So when we started the call, I don't know if I was recording at the time, but you had said you were watching Robin Williams and Craig Ferguson interviews because they bring joy to your heart.
Yes, they do.
Robin Williams has a daughter named Zelda Williams, and she is making her directorial debut. She's making a movie.
No way.
And, she's been trying to make movies for a while and get into the business, but this is a lot of people were kind of weirded out by the concept that she's coming out with first because they're like, why would she do this first as her first project? And she's really open on Twitter and she's like, trust me, this was not the first attempt of making a movie. This is just the first one that stuck. And she has Diablo Cody attached to write the script, which is hit or miss because she's done some good and some bad.
I was just gonna say this, but
but this is a zombie comedy movie. It's called Lisa Frankenstein, and it has Cole Sprouse and Catherine Newton from Freaky. If you recognize that name, Catherine Newton. Okay. I haven't seen her in too much, but Cole Sprouse from one of the twins. This movie is basically like a Frankenstein movie because it's called Lisa Frankenstein, but it takes place in 1989 about a girl who accidentally reanimates the corpse of a young Victorian man and rebuilds him to her liking. So this could go really dark. We don't know. For those who don't know, Diablo Cody wrote Juno. What else did she write? Jennifer's Body, Tully, Young Adult.
Yeah, the Charlize Theron. That was the first Charlize Theron and Jason Reitman collaboration. Honestly, she's not a bad writer, but I love Jennifer's Body. This is Jennifer's Body. Jennifer's Body's underrated.
What else did she write? Diablo Cody. She's writing the Madonna biopic. I didn't know that.
Oh God, we don't need a Madonna biopic.
So this is interesting. It's on my list.
Yeah.
I hope it goes well. I'm interested to see what Zelda Williams brings to the table.
Yeah, that's a good cast too. And you know, I like Jennifer's Body, and that movie's nice and weird. Oh, Tully too. Tully's weird. You know, it doesn't look like it's gonna be a weird movie, but like if you like, that movie got a lot of shit. I think that it was not deserved because that movie actually was really, really good. And there's something that happens to that movie that I didn't see coming at all. It was pretty wild. And like I said, just weird. Like they go the weird. It's a movie about a woman literally losing her mind. And you have no idea that it's going to be like that until the very end.
Yeah.
Which is just awesome. The build up in that movie is amazing. Yeah.
So yeah, put that on your list. It's called Lisa Frankenstein from
Lisa Frankenstein.
Diablo Cody and Zelda Williams. If you're interested, you can follow Zelda Williams on Twitter and see all the thoughts. And there's a lot of backlash of people like, this is so dumb. They made a zombie comedy already called Warm Bodies, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. And she like came back with a really funny remark. She like interacts with people who give her hate. It's really funny. She is the daughter of one of the greatest comedians of all time. Exactly. Yeah. I'm excited for that. Yeah. So the next news is, last episode you had said that you wanted Cameron Diaz to come out of retirement and do something different with her career because she has that potential. Now, I'm not saying she's doing something different right now, but she has officially unretired. Jamie Foxx has gotten Cameron Diaz out of retirement. And I don't know what that means because I don't know. Jamie Foxx is kind of hit or miss. He misses a lot. But I mean, I think he's an Oscar nominated actor, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Was that for Oscar winner? Ray? He won for Ray? Yeah. Dang. Yeah, he was nominated for Collateral and won. He was nominated for Collateral? Yeah. I don't think he should have been nominated for Collateral, to be honest. I don't think Tom Cruise should have. Tom Cruise carried that movie. Oh, you think he should have? Okay. No. I thought you said he was nominated too. Yeah. I was like, I don't remember that. Yeah, no, but Tom Cruise carried the hell out of that movie. Mm-hmm. I just watched that for the first time, and the only thing I remember about that movie is that, are you going to say what I was going to say? Adam Sandler was supposed to be Jamie Foxx's character. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would have been really cool. I think it was originally going to be in New York, and then they changed the setting to LA, and that's why they changed the casting because they wanted Adam Sandler to play like a generic New York cab driver, which would have been sweet. But I think they switched the location to LA and went with Jamie Foxx. Yeah, I mean, like I feel like if you heard that news in 2004, it would have been weird. But now that we see where Adam Sandler is, like it's like you like look at that movie and you're just like, damn, he would have killed. This would have been awesome. Yeah, it would have been way cool seeing him freak out. I personally thought Jamie Foxx was underwhelming as the role. It's like I remember him being way more like I kept seeing Max from The Amazing Spider-Man. Like I kept seeing his Electro character when he was acting. I'm like, his anxiety acting is all the same, I feel like, but I don't know. I liked it a lot. Tom Cruise is not really recognizable. I was like, that's Tom Cruise. That's insane. But if anyone's going to get Cameron Diaz out of retirement, I guess it's Jamie Foxx. They announced it on Twitter that she was coming out of retirement. Apparently. Jamie Foxx got Tom Brady to talk to. It was all scripted, of course, but on the tweet when they announced it, they're like, hey, I understand you're dealing with anxiety about coming out of retirement. I wanted you to talk to someone about who's done it before. And Jamie Foxx gave the phone to Tom Brady, and Tom Brady was like, hey, let me help you out. I know a thing or two about unretiring. Ha ha ha. And then, so they announced that Cameron Diaz is coming back with a Netflix movie. I get it. Yeah, I get it. But Netflix, I guess, the Netflix money is also what could get Cameron Diaz out of retirement. And it's this movie is called Back in Action, which I think is funny and appropriate for Cameron Diaz. It's from the director of Horrible Bosses, Seth Gordon. There is not too much about the actual movie, but I think it's going to be an action comedy based on being called Back in Action. Who knows what that means? We'll probably say the story when they announce it, but it's also being written by the guy who wrote Neighbors. His name is Brendan O'Brien.
Yeah, Seth Gordon. I really love Horrible Bosses, but he declined because he did Identity Thief, which I thought was like, I really wanted that movie to be good. Honestly, the worst Jason Bateman movie I think I've ever seen. And then he also did Baywatch. So
sometimes he just needs that money, but he tries, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of honestly a little disappointing because like I really wanted her to like just come back and do something like completely different, not just go right back into doing stupid comedies.
Right. From how it sounds, it sounds like it's going to be another just a generic Netflix comedy. And Jamie Foxx, like I said, he's hit or miss, and all more often than not, the things I've seen is a miss. Like he was all right in Collateral. I've never seen Olive Ray. He was good in Horrible Bosses, but I don't know.
Horrible Bosses is funny.
Yeah, it seems like Jamie Foxx has a good Netflix deal because he's coming out with a vampire hunting movie called, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, another Netflix movie. I think it might not actually be coming out on Netflix. I think it might be, but he's making a vampire movie, and he's like a vampire hunter.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing something about that.
Yeah,
I just watched The Man from Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Yeah, my brother watched that. He was like, "Do you care if I watch this without you?" I'm like, "No, I do not care if you watch that without me. I'm okay. I don't really want to see it." For one, it was supposed to be Jason Statham and Kevin Hart, but Jason Statham dropped out. So then I'm thinking, all right, well, there goes one huge aspect of the movie with the action, because you're not going to have Jamie or Woody Harrelson do what Jason Statham can do. So that made me disinterested. It's like, if you're going to recast someone, at least get someone who can do martial arts in the way Jason Statham could. But
right,
I think that just changed the entire dynamic of the movie. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't see that working.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to watch it. It's because Netflix just plays stuff for you now.
Yeah,
you know, like if you just unwillingly, no consent at all, just plays whatever. And I was gonna turn it off because I can't stand Kevin Hart. His acting, I just think, especially in this movie, his acting was so bad. You just tell but I saw Woody Harrelson and I was like, okay, maybe. And then I don't even think I finished it. I didn't finish it. I still have like 20 minutes left.
It seems out of, I guess there's not much out of Woody Harrelson's range, but it just seemed like something he wouldn't do. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he was definitely.
Or like, it looked like he half-assed it or something. Like, I don't know. He was a step-in. He was a step-in actor. You replace someone. Yeah. And it's weird when you know about that. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was all yeah. But who knows? Hey, like Netflix sometimes does some good stuff. So,
Yeah, they do.
And it's good that Cameron Diaz is coming back because I do miss her. And I hope that's good because
I hope
her last two movies. Yeah.
Like we said in the last episode.
Terrible.
Yeah,
no, I remember,
especially on the big screen like Netflix. Big screen. Ugh.
That's funny. Especially on the big screen like Netflix. Good one. That was a good one.
So I think we've talked about this before. There's going to be a live action Hercules from Disney because they're remaking all of their classics. God. And originally I thought the Russo brothers were going to be directing it, but they're only producing it with AGBO, their production company. And we know that they get loads and loads and loads of money. They got that Netflix money. They got that Disney money. They got that Marvel money, which is basically the Disney money. So, they got a lot of money under their belt now, or investments.
Yeah.
So
they got the Apple TV money.
Oh yeah, they got Apple TV with the after party. But But yeah, so they found a director for Hercules, and it's Guy Ritchie, who did Aladdin, the live action. And it's like,
that makes more sense for him to do that than him doing Aladdin, I guess.
yeah, there's a lot more action in Hercules and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's bizarre. I mean, Hercules and Aladdin are my two favorite Disney movies from childhood. And I don't know. I don't know what to expect out of this because
all the remakes have sucked.
They've been very mediocre and they don't live up to anything.
Yeah.
But Guy Ritchie, I don't know what he's doing. He made Aladdin, and then he came out with Wrath of Man, I think it was, with Jason Statham.
No, he did The Gentleman afterwards, and then he did Wrath of Man.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Gentleman was okay. It seemed way more Guy Ritchie. Wrath of Man was so
weird,
sporadic. It was weird. Have you seen it yet?
I watched like maybe like 20 minutes of it, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, like I think we talked about it when it first came out, and I was telling you like he tried to do like a big reveal, and he played with the time, the chronological order of how he was telling it, and he kept jumping back and forth and being like, well, which part is which part and what impacted what, and it didn't work. It was very 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 bad. The editing was bad, and I can see why he went back to Disney after that movie, because that movie did not do well. I don't know how well The Gentleman did, but I can see why he has to go back to Disney to get money to do his own films again. And that's why I think this is just a hired job. Like, I don't know what to expect out of this.
Well, that's how I felt about
before too, of saying who would even play Hercules and all this.
Well, that's how I felt about him doing Aladdin, because that was so weird, because it's like his style with musicals, especially musical like that, just the weirdest combination I think I've seen in a big budget Hollywood movie in quite some time. Yeah, no, all those Disney remakes are terrible. Like it's not like they're like well made and everything. They are well made,
right?
And like, the action isn't bad. It's just not. It's so unnecessary and it's so cynical, and it's just gross. Every single time I hear about another live action remake, I just like kind of my spine shivers.
Yeah, from what I'm realizing in his Guy Ritchie's career is like the more money you give him, the less cool his movie is, and the less innovative and intriguing movie he's made. Because he started off really small with like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, which is Snatch is awesome. It's one of my favorite movies, and it peaked around Sherlock Holmes. I think it did peak at Sherlock Holmes because he had Rock and Rolla. He had Rock and Rolla, which was pretty bigger. You could tell by how it was made. But by the time he got to The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and King Arthur, those movies were like, oh, those didn't work as well. And so I think giving him more money, giving him so much freedom kind of goes off the rails a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with his new movie that has, I think it's Aubrey Plaza, Jason Statham, Carrie Hughes, Hugh Grant. Yeah. Like that seems like it could be good because Josh Hartnett's coming back too. I think that one could be good, but from the trailer it looks kind of mediocre again with what Guy Ritchie does. Like I think he needs to go back to smaller films with like Snatch and do something with Brad Pitt again or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of saw it a little bit happen with The Gentleman. He kind of went back to his roots in that one, but I agree with you. It seems like he's one of those directors. It's like McG or Michael Bay. The more money and freedom you give them, you're just gonna get something weird, and it's not gonna be good weird. It's not like revolutionary. You maybe get drunk and watch them, and like have like maybe a little bit of fun. Yeah, no, it's just noise. Just noise. A lot of noise.
I think when we were first talking about the live action Hercules, we're like, who would play Hercules? And you and I are just like, oh God, they're going to cast Chris Pratt, aren't they? And we're like, no, I hope not. But I don't know. I don't know who could play Hercules at this point.
Jason Momoa, guarantee.
Jason Momoa, interesting. Yeah. I feel like
because Aquaman is not going to live on.
I don't know what's going to happen with DC. DC's just going to go away. They're like, let's just stick to comic books and sell their film company.
Dude, no,
or animated
Ezra Miller
movies
did it
too.
to them. Well, yeah, they're of
Apparently,
course the animated movies are 1,000 times better, and I feel like if they focused more on those and gave those bigger budgets, so they can look as good as the material is,
yeah.
that's where I think their career should go. Like how they did with Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, even though the movie didn't make that
90s.
much money at the time. Yeah,
That's because
it's the
that's because
best
it wasn't
Batman
as
movie.
mainstream. But yeah, if it came out
Yeah,
now, it would be huge.
exactly. They
Someone on
needed.
our last episode commented on that. They're like, if they just gave the budget of they made live action to the animated department, things would be way different. He said,
Oh yeah, oh
so,
yeah, oh yeah. But instead, yeah, no, like no, Ezra Miller did it. Congratulations, Ezra. You fucking
yeah.
you're the one that killed an entire $1 billion franchise.
Warner Brothers came out and said, yeah, we still, they kind of loosely said we're still releasing Flash theatrically because we'd lose too much money if it was on HBO Max, but they didn't say anything about Ezra Miller. They're just like, we still plan on releasing the movie. And that's just all.
Like I said, they said they're gonna lose too much money. The movie's gonna lose money anyways. No one's gonna go see that.
A lot of people are gonna boycott that. I feel like it's never been done in a movie, but there should be a trigger warning in the beginning of like, this guy, we know this guy's messed up. And like, we can't do anything. But it's like they do that in TV shows all the time where like, we shot this before certain events have happened, so we don't want to we trigger anyone. So I feel like they could do that with this movie, but that's also very jarring because they've never done that in a cinematic experience like that.
I wonder if they're going to do that with the trailer.
Hold them accountable. Yeah, it would hold them accountable though a little bit. At least they acknowledge what they know. Otherwise, they're kind of just putting it under the rug and be like, let's just put it out.
I'm so excited. I mean, like, it sucks. It's tragic.
I'm so excited. I'm excited. Is the wrong word. I'm just intrigued.
Yes, intrigued. I shouldn't say excited. I'm intrigued of what's going to happen.
It's like seeing a car crash. You're like, oh my god.
I was just gonna say it's like watching a train wreck.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you just can't take your eyes away.
Yeah, no, you can't. You cannot. And people, there's a lot of more serious things out in this world that are happening. And but like every other piece of news that I get in the real world, I just get like upset. This news, anything happens with Warner Bros. Like I'm not upset, but I'm just like I'm intrigued. I'm just like what's gonna happen next? What are they gonna do?
Yeah. What is it called? Something control, damage control. What's their damage control plan? What's their contingency plan?
Contingency.
So yeah, we're getting a live action Hercules officially, one step closer.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about before.
Big franchises.
I was like, what are we talking about?
How did we get to? We always end up back to Ezra Miller.
I know. It's always my fault too.
I wonder if when the documentary or movie is going to come out about Ezra Miller, because his story is very diabolical. Like it's really weird.
There are going to be a lot of characters based off of him, I think.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they're going to do like a straight up, but they're going to do like a Molly's Game where they like, it's obvious Michael Cera's playing Toby Maguire, but they're not going to say it.
Yeah. Right. So another follow-up from last episode, Scream 6 and 7 not officially, but there's getting traction to rumors that Neve Campbell is actually attached to be in Scream 6. They're saying that she's going to have one huge big scene.
We said it.
We were saying that there was rumors about that, and the reason is she didn't get enough for that to go into the next one, because Scream 7 is supposed to have a lot of Sydney. And now the rumors are getting traction that she did, in fact, strike a new deal that gets her at least, or like one big cliffhanger scene for Scream 6 to lead into Scream 7. So nothing officially has been said, but that rumor is getting traction, and it would, I think, help the franchise a lot because, like we said, it was up in the air. It's already up in the air based on having a follow-up to a movie that is kind of mediocre. I don't know. It's kind of like the Force Awakens, where they kept the same formula to keep people new and old, and that's the safe reboots type situation that a lot of people are doing. And I think the next one might turn into The Last Jedi and have people be like, oh, I don't know if this is good anymore.
Yeah.
So
No,
I mean,
that's
the last one was
exactly.
already doing that because of people. Yeah. So we'll see.
No, that's I think that's exactly what's going to happen, because the people always forget, and I always love like talking about these people whenever they're talking about how shitty the new Star Wars, not the TV shows, but like the new Star Wars just in general is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, there's just never a plan. They never thought, like, I think they knew that Force Awakens was going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
They knew they wanted to do sequels, but they had absolutely no plan with those movies. And when you watch them, you can tell. It's like
Mm-hmm.
they're where are we going here? And then by the
Yeah.
time you get to Rise of Skywalker, it's like, oh, you guys don't like at all.
Yes. And it didn't help that J.J. Abrams said that too. He straight up told people, he's like, we just did one
Yeah.
movie and handed it off to the next person, and then we pick it up from there. There was
Yeah. It's not how you conduct good business.
No, I had an argument with my friend the other day. I was trying to be like, there's hope for Star Wars. It's in good hands right now. Like, Star Wars is obviously going to continue, but I have hope for Star Wars because it's in Taika Waititi's hands right now. And I think he's going to do something way different. And I think that the future of Star Wars could be really good if they just don't try to do trilogies all the time and just, I don't know. I think they could do something better. Yeah, they're focusing a lot on Disney Plus. A lot of same with Marvel. They're doing a lot of Disney Plus stuff just because they have to, and it almost seems like they don't need to do that. Like the Kenobi series is a big Coen Brothers movie where it's like nothing really happened because you can't break canon. It takes place between movies. You can't really do anything huge or drastic. And I just that's how I feel now.
Yeah, no, it's so dumb. Someone was just talking about, they're like, dude, you gotta see the new Obi-Wan. It's so good. I was like, that's one of those things. I look up scenes from it. Like I did. I was like, I don't need to watch this because there's no, it's the same way how I felt about Rogue One. It's like, I don't care about any of these characters because it was never talked about. Like, it was talked about briefly, and the idea of like that crawl in the first movie, that's just the movie. But you know it's going to happen because it's a crawl, and you just know it's going to happen. So it's like, in the end, like, what's the point? Why do I care about these characters when I know they're going to die? They were never talked about before. I
think I didn't know they were going to die, but I thought that was a really smart decision. Like, that was good because the impact was big. There was a big impact. Sure, we knew, but like the impact was worth seeing, and like, it was big, but ultimately, we didn't need it either. Like, we don't need Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I didn't, I was upset that they let down Kumail Nanjiani and they let down O'Shea Jackson Jr. Because it's like, they should be on the big screen of Star Wars, and maybe eventually they will one day, but it's all
it would have been, I think it would have been a good, okay move to make an Obi-Wan movie.
Which was originally supposed to be a trilogy of movies, I guess. They said, like, the original writer said it was going to be a movie or trilogy movie, and he gave out all these story elements that he was going to do, and then they gave it to this new studio writer. His name is Joby Harris or something, but he's attached to a lot of big projects now, and he kind of just did it dirty and extended 3 movies into one mini series, and it didn't work because they changed a lot, and it didn't work. I mean,
and I did watch some scenes though. Like, it was cool to see him be Obi-Wan again, and it was okay to see Hayden Christensen too, I guess.
He was barely in it. He could have not been in it, and it still would have been the same show. So that's what were we talking about? Scream. Oh yeah, Scream is going to be like Star Wars, where the next movie is going to
it again.
Scream is going to be the next Scream is going to hit or miss, and might lose a lot of fans or keep the diehard fans, kind of like The Last Jedi. But we'll have to see if those rumors stay true and Sidney Prescott is actually returning. So we'll find out in, I guess, a year from now when it comes out.
Sure.
Yep. So I want to end the episode with a movie review because I believe we both saw this movie. It was called Elvis, I believe. I think we should talk about that movie.
Yes.
because we haven't done a movie
Okay.
review in quite a bit. Do you
I'm
want to
excited.
introduce our review of Elvis, Justin? Just wing it.
I'm speechless. Speechless. Yeah, no, recently, so director Baz Luhrmann, man, like he has not been around for a little bit. He did The Great Gatsby, and then he kind of just disappeared. And he decided to come back and bring back, I guess he watched 2 episodes of Hannah Montana, and he saw this guy, and he was like, you know what? Fuck it. He's going to be Elvis. And then after that, he watched the 1960s Batman and said, you know what? What if the Colonel was the Penguin? And then we got Elvis. And somehow with all of that, it is one of my favorite movies of the year.
Wow, I would not have made those connections at all. I have a different story for each one. Yeah, but this movie is bizarre. I don't know.
Weird.
It's like it's hard to not like. It's a hard movie to not like because Baz Luhrmann is so good at making the real look like fantasy. Like he did that with Great Gatsby. He did that with Moulin Rouge, Romeo and Juliet. He makes reality look so fantastical, and it's wonderful to see. Like it's hard to not like his movies if you like movies. But the performances are what stood out to me a lot. Like I saw the movie twice, and the first time I saw it was just with people I knew, and the second time I saw it was with someone who was obsessed with Elvis. And she was talking crap. She's like, this guy is not going to be Elvis. He can't play Elvis. Like, it's Elvis. No one can play Elvis. And then she saw the movie and she was blown away. And like toward the end of the movie, they're like, oh, wow, look, they're actually showing the real Elvis. I'm like, no. That's not the real Elvis. That's still Austin Butler. And they were like arguing with me. They're like, that is Elvis. I'm like, no. You wait. They're going to show Elvis because they have a little montage of the real Elvis at the end. And it's like, she was like, she was so upset that she was wrong. I was like, exactly. Austin Butler put his heart and soul into this movie.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it twice. My buddy and I'm gonna go see it again. But like, I had no hope for this movie at all. The trailer I did not like the trailer. Like he looks like Austin Butler, like of course. So, damn, he does look like him, but he barely spoke the entire trailer. So that's why I was like, oh, I wonder if he like looks like him. He sings.
Yeah,
like
they're
him,
hiding him,
but he
hiding
can't.
the performance.
Yeah. But then, dude, no, like the movie, like I can't tell you the last time I walked out of a movie theater just completely blown away. I think the last time I was with La La Land. The first time I saw La La Land, I was in a theater too, mind you. Like not, I've seen plenty of movies, just in my house too. That just recently because of pandemic and everything that have blown me away. But leaving the theater, my buddy and I, we were just like, we could barely even speak to each other because him and I were just both just like, God damn, that's amazing. And like, of course, they gloss over so many things and like problematic things, but this movie reminded me a lot of Rocketman. If you go in thinking that like Bohemian Rhapsody or like Walk the Line, then you're wrong and you're gonna walk out maybe disappointed. But in my opinion, this is how musical biopics should be, because I think I hate musical biopics. I think it's one of the worst genre because after Walk Hard ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, that's literally what I thought this movie was gonna be. It was gonna be like the real version of a parody that was already made, which was obviously they were parodying Walk the Line, but there's scenes that have Elvis in that movie, who's played by Jack White, which is incredible. I could chop a man in half.
Yeah.
Look at him. That's I love Jack White in that. But great. Jack White's on the soundtrack too from the White Stripes. He's also on the soundtrack for Elvis. And me and my brother just looked at each other like, what? They got him on this because he played Elvis in Walk Hard, which is funny. But yeah, this movie is really visually pleasing. If you like music, you'll enjoy this. If you like Vegas, you'll enjoy this because I saw it in Vegas. I'm here in Vegas right now. I saw it in Vegas. I saw it opening day Friday, and when it was coming up, there was this older woman. she sounded like she was a lot older because her voice was very raspy. And when the lights went down, she's like, "Who's ready for Elvis?" And everyone started cheering. And I was like, "Is this what people feel like? Is this like it's like felt like a Marvel or Star Wars or like an event film where especially in Vegas, they're like, wow!" And they showed Vegas on the screen, and everyone in the theater started cheering. I was like, "This is weird." Normally Vegas theaters are not super into the movie like this, like barely even with Marvel movies, but it was Elvis. And so it was really cool to see it that way.
It must have been very disappointing after they made Vegas into Elvis's hell.
Yeah, I mean, it basically is everyone's hell. You just don't realize it until it's too late.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things with his manager I had no idea about. Yeah, and when I was done with the movie, I thought like, well, some of that has to be exaggerated, but really, like all the stuff that they did, most of the stuff that they did with the manager really happened to him, and like it's fucking tragic. And like I guess we can spoil it a little bit because I mean, like it's really real. Like,
it's history. Yeah, it's already happened. People.
But I never knew that Elvis never got to travel the world, which is
I didn't either.
Saddest thing
because of how universal he was. He was. He never left the country. He never left the country at all.
He couldn't. He was stuck in bullshit contracts, and because of this, until the day he died too. Like it's seriously like the ending of this movie broke my fucking heart. I was like, God damn, dude.
It makes you reevaluate everything that he did. It's like,
yeah. And I'm not even a big Elvis fan too.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
But like it's hard not to like him though, even like with some of the things that people that he's done, especially with his dating life and stuff, and they really gloss it over here. You can say whatever you want with that, and yes, it's creepy and weird, but like he was in the end a pretty genuine dude, you know, and he was basically just a big kid. He did not know any better. And he put his entire career in the hands of people that easily can manipulate him and take advantage of him until he starts, and most of them did. It's really sad. It's really, really, really a sad, tragic ending. But instead of it being like you leave the theater like crying, like feeling bad for this dude, Baz Luhrmann does such a great job. This is his best movie, in my opinion. But he just does such a great job with like the editing and like just filming it. That in the end, it's still like you're still just like you're like, oh man, but you're like, oh, this is awesome. It's an awesome movie.
It literally makes you want to replay Elvis songs and just appreciate the things that he did. And it made me want to see his movies. Like I haven't seen a single Elvis Presley movie, but it makes sense. I now and like from the perspective of them, like they pumped them out quickly. It was like it kind of makes sense how they're all really corny. And it's really upsetting because he wanted to take his acting career seriously as well. Like obviously, because he's a showman. He was like, I kept thinking this movie should have been called The Greatest Showman because Elvis Presley was insane. But then I was like, oh yeah, Hugh Jackman did that. But still, like this gives you a newfound or even new or just fresh appreciation of Elvis. I want to talk about the performance though, because the only thing I didn't like about it was Tom Hanks. I did not like Tom Hanks. He's not menacing. He wasn't menacing enough because I was like, I just see Tom Hanks. Like you can put as much prosthetics on him as you want. He's doing something weird.
Those prosthetics were terrible too. There's some angles where they're so bad.
I feel bad that happened. I don't know how that happened, but no one's talking about Tom Hanks in this movie. Everyone's talking about Austin Butler.
He outshines him. Like the beginning of the movie when it's like mainly Tom Hanks. I was kind of like, this is weird. Like this performance is weird
because I just see Tom Hanks.
Once Austin Butler gets there though, it's game over. You don't care about how cheesy his Tom Hanks performances because everything else about it is absolutely amazing.
I kept thinking when I saw the second time,
Austin Butler carries
Oscar nomination.
He puts his entire soul. I think he's gonna win. I don't know.
I think he's gonna win too.
To top this performance.
Everyone's asking, so you ready for your Oscar? And he's just like, ha ha ha, because he knows. He knows he's gonna win.
if he doesn't win, like somebody really has to. Somebody really.
We're only
has
halfway
to
through the
come
year,
in.
but yeah,
Totally. Someone really has to come in and do something, because I don't know. Like, he is so fucking good in it, and
yeah,
because it's an impossible task too. It's absolutely impossible
because he's not doing like an
to do this.
impersonation or a
Not at
characterization.
all.
Like, it's not like he's saying thank you very much every scene. He only says thank you very much
Yeah.
once in the entire
Once.
movie, and it's so genuine. It's a genuine moment. They don't stuff all of the stuff about Elvis that you know down your throat. Everything is nuanced in such a way that it's organic. His role is so organic in this movie. You're not thinking he's doing an impression. No, he became Elvis, and it's one of the best acting I've ever seen. Because have you heard about how he got the role? Did you hear
something about audition tape, right? Like he
did an audition, but Denzel Washington called Baz Luhrmann, and they don't know each other. Denzel Washington did a play with Austin Butler and was like, "Hey, this guy's work ethic is incredible, and you should get a meeting with him." So Baz Luhrmann took the advice of Denzel Washington and met Austin Butler because they worked together on a play. And then they started to talk for months, like 8 months they were talking before they actually gave him the role.
Wow.
And Baz Luhrmann tricked Austin Butler into doing a screen test? Because he thought they were just doing another audition process. And then he ended up shooting what is going viral of an actual performance that Austin Butler is really singing. That was staged. He was only supposed to do like a minute. And then he ended up Baz Luhrmann just walked away and had him do the whole song. And he just kept going. And that ended up is what got him the role. And I think that's a really cool story. And it's like, Tom Hanks would awesome. Never.
No.
But what I'm thinking, when I was watching it the second time, I just kept thinking, you know who would play a really good Colonel? Tom Parker, who is Tom Hanks' character, is John Goodman. John Goodman should play that role. Sure, he lost all the weight,
man.
But I think he's way more menacing than Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was not menacing, and I think that might have been part of it. Of you want to be able to trust this guy, but like at the same time, he's supposed to be kind of evil.
Dude, and his voice is so weird. Like, I watched an interview with the real dude because I was like, is this really what he sounds like? He sounds nothing like.
There's a biographer for the Colonel who wrote the biography for him. He's like, what the accent that Tom Hanks chose to do as like makes no sense. Like, that's coming from nowhere.
Yeah.
And
it's coming from nowhere.
I think it's Tom Hanks's choice to be like, it's that he's from Poland or he grew up in Poland or something and changed his citizenship later. But like, that's what he decided to go with, was like a slight different. It was an accent. Like, it wasn't American. Like, I don't know what choices he made.
Yeah. I don't think anybody knows.
I feel like Baz Luhrmann was like, I don't think Baz Luhrmann was like, chill out, because he has other things to focus on. He hires actors to make their decisions. And
he doesn't pull back. That's for sure.
Tom Hanks.
Same. That's like the only thing. And that didn't even stop me from giving it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, that didn't stop me.
Because his Austin Butler's performance is just amazing. And just him and Baz Luhrmann, just, you could tell that they're going to probably do something else with each other.
Yeah.
They seem like they have a good working relationship. And especially because like, he's played it so well. Like, he wasn't over the top at all. And his singing is amazing. Like, he had the moves fucking down. Like, it's just everything about it was such a fantastic performance that I don't see anybody else topping it this year. I can't think of anybody.
There's no projects that are coming that are going to be that level at all. But that's Baz Luhrmann for you. Baz Luhrmann only comes out like once every like 6 years, and he comes out with a new movie 7 years maybe. Like, this one was, his last movie was 9 years ago. So with the Great Gatsby.
He's the Bigfoot of Hollywood.
It's amazing. I forget how good he is until I see a movie of his again. I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't.
You gave it a 5 out of 5.
I gave it a 5 out of 5.
What about a 10? It's not a 10 out of 10. What would you give it? A 10 out of 10? Because that's our rating is 10.
Right. I would give it a 10 out of 10.
Holy cow! Great movie. I would give it like an 8.9. Probably an 8.9, almost 9. But like I said, I am gonna have it go down a little bit because Tom Hanks takes me out of it sometimes. But overall, like
Yeah,
it all gets redeemed
that's
by Elvis.
exactly.
I'm just gonna call him Elvis.
Yeah, right. No, it's his performance is so good that like it overshadows the things I don't like. The things that the only thing I didn't like was Tom Hanks, but even then, like I didn't care after a while because like it's just I don't know. I just went with the flow with whatever Baz Luhrmann was doing. I just like he
his
took
editing
me on
is
this
insane.
journey.
It's so good. It's like a 2.5-hour
Yeah,
movie, and it doesn't feel well. No, it doesn't feel
almost
that way
3
because
hours.
you're like so into it because it's so well. It's
Yeah,
like it's an experience. You have like it is one of those movies you
yep,
have to watch in a theater. On TV, it's going to be less. I don't know. It's not as overwhelming on TV because you're surrounded by everything. But if you immerse yourself, actually, Baz Luhrmann movies deserve to be seen on the big screen. So
yes,
I would give it like a
I agree.
8.9. And so
Yeah,
I saw it twice. It was good. I'm excited for the next Baz Luhrmann movie in 10 years.
yeah, the max. Yeah, exactly.
But so that was our review of Elvis. I hope you guys tell us what you thought about it. If you saw it, if you plan on seeing it, or anything else about Elvis. That was our episode though. We did it. What episode is this? This is episode 48.
Good God.
Thank you guys for listening and watching. If you did, let us know what you guys are watching. Let us know what we should watch or talk about. If you have any news stories that you want us to cover, help us do our job. If you want to follow us on social media, everything's in the description. You can follow Justin on Instagram to see when he's doing comedy shows if you're ever in the area. And
Yes.
if you're in the area, follow Justin home.
Yeah.
So thank you guys again. We'll see you guys next week. Do you want me to tease what we're doing next week, Justin? We're going to talk about the Russo brothers next week as well.
Oh yeah,
the next episode. And Zoe Kravitz is doing a new movie, which we'll talk about. And
I like Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, some interesting stuff next week. Join us for that.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, we'll see you all next week. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.